Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, senior editor over at the Koalition.com.
And I'm Josh Lamage, writer for the Koalition.
Oh, Christmas has come early, Josh. Christmas has come early. All my favorite shows drop before Christmas. We had Slow Horses, Tulsa King, and here we go, Mayor of Kingstown, season 4, the darkest show on the telly. This doesn't disappoint, man. This show does not disappoint. We are so thankful that Jeremy Renner survived that horrific snowmobile, or was it a snow plowing accident? Oh my Lord. When that happened, I was in shock. I was like, oh no, please. Not so much just for him.
I want him to continue the show.
Not the show. Oh man, who's gonna fill his spot? How are they gonna do it? No, just for him himself. He does a fantastic job on this show. He delivers Mike's lines. I mean, like only Jeremy Renner can. It's very believable. I love the acting in this show.
He has like a grittiness to him.
A grittiness, his face, everything. It comes off very authentic. Love it. Just like you guys love us. Like, subscribe. Thank you. Just saying. But man, I'm just glad it's back. I'm glad that it's back. This is season 4. The name of this episode is Coming Round the Mountain. And you know who's not coming around the mountain, Josh?
Who?
Iris is not coming around the mountain. There is my bad joke there because she died in the bus. I did not see that coming. Last season, final episode, I was really rooting for Iris. I'm sure a lot of people watching this were also rooting. It's like she had a hard life. She went through a lot. All the stuff that she was put through with the Russian mob and coming back and forth and being passed around. And of course, Mike's mom trying to fix her up. She was living with Tracy, Kyle's wife, Kyle's family for a while. We were really rooting for her, but it wasn't in the cards. She tried to get that relationship with Mike, but no, Mike has Evelyn, the DA, that little side thing going on. They never made it official, but the point is really always rooting for Iris. And that was a big shocker for the end of last season. We had a lot of deaths. We had all kinds of stuff happen there, but man, that one hit the heart. But hey, we are back in town. If you guys remember, if you don't remember, Kyle had Robert that was part of his team, the SWAT team. Not a good guy. Caused a lot of problems. No one liked the dude, right? But hey, you're part of the team. You can't like everybody you work with, right? They had that big fallout on the bridge with the Crips, Bunny's crew, the Russians, cops fighting, big shootout. A civilian tries to get out of the car. Robert's about to shoot anyway, even though Kyle's screaming, innocent, the whole thing. Doesn't matter. He shoots him. We find out he didn't kill him, put him down. Understandable. Yeah, he was wearing a vest. We've seen that. But he's got to go to jail for a while. Kyle is still going to jail. I was surprised by this. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Thought he killed him.
Yeah, at first I thought, because I was like, oh man, they killed him. But then it's like, no, he didn't kill him. He's going away for 2 years. He'll be out in 6 months. Good behavior. I'm sure people that were like, wait a minute. Why? I mean, if there's one thing we learned from watching all these seasons, everyone's corrupt except the DA. But the DA, she's sort of dating Mike. Come on now. It's not gonna, everything should be fine, right? This should be easy peasy. Just let him off. But no, it's like that. We find out later on more with Evelyn, what she wants to get out of it. And that's really what it is leverage. She's pulling this whole thing. And it gets complicated if we get in, but I just want to get that out the back just for a quick refresher that this main season right now is focusing on what's going on with Kyle and that there's a new player in the game, right? So you want to start that off with which shout out to Morgan. That's what I'm going to say from Fear the Walking Dead. He is here as Moses, right? Frank Moses.
Now, we heard someone call him Frank. We heard someone call him Moses. I looked up on IMDb. And got that his character name is Frank Moses, so that makes sense. Because we were like, is his name Moses or Frank? It's one of those
Yeah,
two first namer kind of things going on.
I hate that. I hate that. I get it. They try to get more authentic. This is how people talk, right? We say certain things. A lot of people call me by my last name. Other people call me by a nickname. It's no consistency with all that. But for a show, that can be a little bit confusing, especially if it's a new character.
Yeah,
So
I was like, did you know this guy previously? But no. So
I forgot his name, the real actor's name, but I just call him Morgan because I know him from Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead. He was a dude walking with the staff. If you're not sure, if it's not bringing up anything, there we go.
But the episode starts with a penny. The guy's holding a penny, and he's talking to some of his. I guess they're in a gang. He's talking to some of the other members, and they're talking about the penny. He's talking about the copper and how they used to have real copper, and how it was essential to World War II, and that they stopped making them in 1947, according to what he was saying here. And he was talking about how wars are what determine value. And he goes, he also says, what you kill for makes it costly. So he's saying this whole thing, and then he walks away, and we just see a train passing by. We're like, wondering what's going on, but you could see that there's 4 guys on the train tracks. Their heads are on the rail, and once the train passes, we don't hear anything really. Just the train just goes through. No blaring of the horns on the train or any freak out or anything. The train goes through, and then we just see 4 decapitated heads. The guys are just separated cleanly.
I could have swore I heard a little bit as he was getting closer. It sounded like, but then I guess it was like, it's too late.
Wasn't it? But I feel like it wasn't anything like crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
oh
no.
It
I didn't hear any guys
wasn't
screaming. So it's revealed later that they were drugged.
Oh, that's a horrible way. Imagine now you're going to the bar, your club. Hey, you want to have a drink? I got roofied, and then decapitated. No,
you wouldn't be there to say it.
What a horrible night!
I
right?
put my head back on, and now I'm here.
Oh no, but I'm just saying, if we don't know the afterlife, but man, what a way to go!
What a way to go,
if you could look back at it, it was like I should have never gone to that bar. That was a mistake. Should have stayed home, watched a rerun of Seinfeld or something. But no,
yeah, that's a really, really bad way to go. Then the guys, they walk over. You see the heads clean off, and then Frank Moses gets in the car with his guys, and they drive off. And then we cut. It's the next day, I'm assuming. It's earlier. We have Kyle and his lawyer sitting across from Mikey, and they're signing a deal. They made a deal. He pled guilty. Instead of getting 6 to 12 years, he's getting 2 years, which if he has the good behavior thing going on, he's going to get most likely 6 months.
This is gonna. I'm sure everybody watching or did watch this was like, there's no way. There's no way he's getting out. They could drag this along for who knows how long, because I'm sure they're going to try to set him up with something. If you ever watch shows like Oz or Prison Break, you know how this goes. Somebody comes in, especially like a hot topic like this, where it's a police officer, bunch of inmates that he was a cop. He put a lot of these people that were in there in jail before he switched over to SWAT. And we find out later on, of course, people are going to come after him. But man, yeah, someone will try to pin something on him to get him to stay longer, right? This is horrible. This is horrible.
And Mikey seems to be liking this news so far. He's in his office. He's standing up. He's like, okay, cool, all right. And then the lawyer's like, well, we're just gonna have him go over to the sheriff. DOC will transport him in, and he'll do the walkthrough of the yard, and Mikey's like, what are you talking about? Like, no, we're not doing this. Like, you can't have him do that.
Yeah, get on the bus. Yeah, they're gonna put him on the bus.
And he's like, look, I worked a miracle here. I did this. Look at the, he's not serving too much. He literally shot another officer. It was like, this is the best I could do. And then Mike starts cursing him out. And he's like, freaking lawyer, and he like kicks him out. And you can see that Mike is extremely worried, but Kyle's kind of just like, this is the best deal we could get. Like, it's fine. He's seeming very optimistic about everything, but that Mikey knows.
It's tricky. The situation is tricky because it's like, all right, I get that Mike is upset about the optics of just showing that. Yeah, he's going to get on. He's going to wear the suit. He's going to get on the bus. He's going to walk through the yard. Was it 4:00? Everyone's going to be out. They're going to see this. They're going to heckle. But overall, people will know. They will know that he's there. Word is going to spread very fast. Okay, there's no secret. It's like a school. Everybody's in there. Once something happens, everybody knows.
And add that Kyle used to be a detective himself, right?
Yeah, he was part of the police
so he put some of
department.
these people in there.
He put people in there. They all know word is going to spread quick. So I guess he was just trying to hold off that reaction just to make it real subtle that it's like, oh, did you hear who they moved in so-and-so cell block? Yeah. But it sounds like it doesn't matter because he's still going to be mixed in with Gen Pop at some point. So, I guess he's just trying to reduce any kind of interaction with the larger.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so I get it, but
it's also the the leverage that some of these guys get within the system for killing a cop or something or taking somebody of importance out. So he's
yeah, he brings that up, but no, definitely. If I remember right, whenever these type of situations happen, where law enforcement, white collar crime stuff, they get put to a different prison or to another wing. They don't get mixed in with everyone else, especially
that's what I was saying. Like what we were talking about before, like while we were watching the episode, I was like, why couldn't they put him somewhere else or like let him do home arrest? Like this is just wild.
Yeah, and that comes up later on, which we'll get into. When that gets brought up, because we're all thinking, come on now, he was a cop, and as we'll find out even more later regarding Robert's situation, he didn't die, he's okay, he's it sounded like he didn't even press charges. So
no. So then Mike gets a call from Ian regarding the bodies that they found at the train tracks. So Mike, he drives over there, they let him through. Ian's like, yeah, we came and stumbled upon this. A whole freight train came and they walk over and Mikey's like, Jesus, like he sees the bodies. And he's like, this is like, what is this? And they're like, they're Russians. We're all just trying to figure out how this came about. It seems like maybe they were doped and they were put here. And then Mikey's like, this is a devil we don't know.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different because they bring him over, and some people are like, well, he's not even a real mayor. He's not even a cop. Why does he get the special treatment? Because he knows everybody. He knows the ins and outs. If there's something going on, there's a new player in town, he would know about it. And that's why he's like, hey, it's the devil we don't know, because this is not Bunny style. The Crips and stuff, they don't do this. They don't do any of this stuff. The Colombians definitely don't do this stuff. So, there's a new player and we don't really know much. In fact, we don't know anything at this point because this entire episode, Frank Moses never shows up again. That was it. It was just a teaser.
There's assumptions later on like who they think did this. So, this reveal is going to happen much later, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess the start of the images, we have the warden.
Oh, Nina Hobbs, right? That's it. Nina Hobbs, no relation to the other Hobbs from Hobbs and Shaw. Shout out to The Rock, friend of the show. He's been going through a hard time right now, so he could use all the hype he can get, right? Hard times for Mr. Dwayne Johnson. But yeah, we got them. She is this actress. What was her name? I'm blanking on the name. I should have brought this up, but I know her from a few other shows.
She's good. Done. She's good. I like her style.
Oh man, she was a nurse Jackie. She was in Nurse Jackie and a few other shows. But yeah, no, it's very stern. We get a sense early on with her character that she's no BS. She's not a nice person, or at least not a relaxed person, because as she's talking to them, and if you want to get into it, you can get into it.
Yeah, she's like, I'm taking over Anchor Bay here. The previous warden, she kind of like degrades him a little bit.
Oh yeah, Kareem. Yeah, R.I.P. Kareem, who's also doing pretty well on Tulsa King. He's got a reoccurring role, so he's fine there. But yeah, if those who don't remember, he was a warden. Had a lot of horrible things happen to him in season 2. Season 3 was dealing with a bunch of trauma with his family, the relationship. He was messed up in the head. A traumatic experience. If you know, you know. But he couldn't afford all of it. His family needed counseling, his daughter and all that stuff. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to help everybody out. So he went over into the prison. He went over to the Aryan Nation part of it. Pretty much got into a scuffle, but on purpose, and because he knew they were going to kill him. So then that way he died on the job. And the family got all the benefits and stuff like that. And then she even brings that up. Nina was like, oh, wait. No. That's a little later with the following Jesus, but we'll get into that. But it was right before that when they were sitting down, when they were talking about where she found it very suspicious of how he went through that whole process.
Well,
Like, oh,
yes.
no, he was helping an inmate. He was like, yeah, sure he was.
She walks after this briefing. She walks, and Carney is following her, and he goes up to her and he goes, well, basically, hey, look, I was Kareem's right hand man. Like, I helped him handle a lot of stuff. So, like, if you need something, you could look to me. And yeah, she brings up the whole point, like, at least his family is getting supported. Very unusual circumstances. The man seemed unbalanced. So
why would you say that? Why? That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying they were throwing hints that she's not a nice person, because there's no reason to say that. The guy died. He was the warden. Just let it go.
Yeah, because you don't know what her stance is going to be on the corruptness of this prison, right?
Yeah.
She in her leading speech to everybody, she was talking about how if they've seen her resume, she's handled things really well. Her crime rates were lower within the cells and stuff. So she's hopefully trying to come into this thing and just really take control. And she's not taking anything. Like, you could see that Carney's trying to get into the same positioning he was with Kareem, but it's not. It's not working. Yeah, there's Carney listening and confused about the whole thing going on. Yeah. And then we have another guy come up as well.
Kevin Jackson.
Yeah. But right before that, so she's basically saying, like, he is like, well, I won't abide by the loyalty to a dead man. And then
you can't be loyal to a dead man.
Tell that to Jesus. Jackson, walk with me.
Mic drop. Gotcha. Right? How do you come back from that? We'll say that to Jesus. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean,
she walks with Jackson, and Jackson's basically like, no, Kareem was a hero. Like, he was trying to stick up for an inmate or something, and this and that. And then she's already has a video of him on her phone, and she's like, "Is this you?"
Yeah, I put this in my favorites. I watch it all the time of you doing the signals, and just basically putting her thumb on him, because she says, "It's like, hey, who writes your checks?" Oh, the government. Me? I'm in charge of that. So I'm in charge of you here and out there. Because she knows, and I think that's what she was hinting at. She knows that he's definitely involved in something, whether it's Bunny or other things. She knows that he had some involvement in regards to the bomb that went off, and that was also last season. That was another crazy situation. But he is, yes. If you don't know, if you're like, I'm kind of late to the party, he works for Bunny. He's one of Bunny's guys, and he's in here. But she's making it known that she knows that he's working for somebody else. But now she wants all the info.
And then the next image, you could see that he's stunned. He's just in the hallway, just like,
oh you got me. Oh, what am I gonna do? I need to get a new job. Oh wait, there are no other jobs here in Kingstown. It's bad. Things are bad there. It's so bad. That town. Oh,
it's a horrible town. Horrible. I don't know why.
It's rough. It is rough.
Then we got Bunny. He's on the roof talking to Mike.
Oh yeah, Bunny.
They're just chilling out there. He seems like in good spirits. Things are going well for him, I guess.
Well, things are good. The Russians are gone. Right? That was the drama. The last season drama, the Russians interfering with his business and dealing with all of that. That's over with. He's good. He does admit he lost a lot of people on that bridge in that shootout. But he is the big boss. He's the man. This is one of those situations that if somebody jumps in the show, wait, isn't he a drug dealer? Doesn't everybody know? Yeah, they do. But they rather, it's the devil you know type of situation. So instead of having all the conflicts and all other stuff, they let him do his thing here, but he keeps the peace. Nothing happens on the streets. That's really what kicks off Kingstown season 1 and all the money. Yeah, but right now he's cool, hanging out on the top in his lawn chair, looking over at the city, the town and the prisons, and not much of a sight, but he likes to keep out there, and he seems happy. He's good.
Yeah, he's like, nobody's moving on the king. And then Mike is like, look, listen, like, Kyle, and I think we got an image of that too. He's like, Kyle is going in tomorrow. look, like I need some protections with him. And he's all like, normally we don't look out for, police in this whole thing in there. But I mean, there's especially a cop that shot another one. And he's like, no, look, like he was trying to save a life.
This situation, their relationship is so complicated. It's deep. I mean, for those who remember, there was one time where Mike needed Bunny on the inside in prison, and he had to go in, and it was just to do some undercover work to set some things up, and then he couldn't get him out. He almost, but Bunny almost had to stay there for life. It was some craziness.
That's horrible.
So yeah, but eventually he did get him out, and they've worked together on other things. They've butt heads and stuff like that, but at no point did we ever think that Bunny was going to double cross and kill Mike, and vice versa. Mike is not going to put Bunny away and try to set him up. So there's a big trust here. So when he tells him, I think it's just he's just mouthing off. That he has every intention of looking out for Kyle. Kyle, Mark, Mike. That's almost like family for Bunny right now at this point.
And he does. He tells him that Raph is gonna keep eyes on him, and within the cells, within the yard and stuff. And then he says, "Family's family." And then the last thing he says, he goes, "I got to keep these streets pin drop quiet."
I get that. That's what I love about this show. I love this show. It's everybody's shady. Everybody's shady. There is no person on a white horse. Look at me, Mr. Goody. No. Everybody's got something, but it's to keep the overall peace, keep the peace within this town, because you can't. Like, there's going to be someone, and if they start playing whack-a-mole with everyone, it's going to cause problems. So hey, we got Bunny. Bunny's not that bad. He doesn't want kind of turf war, so they picked the right guy here.
So the next scene, Kyle is at home with his baby. I don't think we have an image of that yet, but Kyle's at home with his baby, and his wife
and Mitch.
Tracy comes in. Yeah, his son Mitch, that he named after his brother that died in the first season. And Tracy's upset. She's upset with him. She's like, like, you don't have to do this. Like, you're going to jail for Robert, the guy that he shot, right? How does that make any sense? She's like, just tell the truth. How does that violate your code? And he basically looks at her and he goes, like, I can't. Like, if this is a house of cards, and it would all fall down.
It's true.
6 months.
Like I just said, a lot of these people, they've all done some shady stuff. Ian and Stevie, of course, Mike, Kyle, all of them have done things under the table, whether for good, bad, or just to get something done. It's nothing just stealing money. There's always something going on. And the idea is that if, let's say, Kyle decides to fight this, well, then that's when an investigation goes in, right? And then
Robert
they do a deep dive.
Robert can say all this stuff, and they all go down.
Yeah, exactly. Then they can squeeze the screws on Robert about stuff.
Yeah, and then Robert can make a plea deal and get everybody else.
Exactly. Yeah, and even though Ian, and we'll have the audio later when he starts talking about Kyle to Robert, sort of makes it seem like Kyle would be the one to snitch, which makes no sense at all, because Kyle is the one that clearly didn't even second guess the idea. He said it at the beginning of the episode. It was like, hey, you know what? I knew what I was doing. I made that choice. I knew I was going to get in trouble for this in some way. So I'm ready to do the time. So he's okay with it. But he tells Tracy that. He was like, hey, this is it. I can't. Like you said, the house of cards, I can't do it.
He's been a little naive with the whole thing. He's being a social justice warrior here. But, the only one really nervous about this whole thing is everyone else. And especially Mikey is like panicking right now, trying to, because he knows the minute his brother's going in, it's like a free for all. So,
but the funniest part of the whole thing is how everybody says he's doing this for Robert. Yeah, he's doing this for Robert. I mean, everybody. I was waiting for someone to say that at a bar. Why is he going for Robert? And then the people like Robert just, yo, I'm right here. Yo, you can't. I mean, he sort of says that in the car. He's like, I can't believe this. Like, everybody feeling sorry for him. What about me? I'm the one that got shot. I'm like, yeah, and we hoped he was a little higher up. Oh, that no one really likes him. He's that guy.
Everyone hates him.
Yeah, but
Tracy's still talking to Kyle, and she's like, look at your son. Like, you can't do this. And then she's like, plus, you can never be a cop again. And he goes, I don't want to be a cop anymore. Like, it's done. After this, after I get out, we're moving, we're selling the house, and we're starting
going
over.
to Jersey.
We made that joke, like, who's buying that house in this area, bro? Like,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
someone that works in the jail. I don't know.
that's pretty much it. Yeah, no one's looking for real estate in that area, in that town, unless yeah, you work in the prison or you're doing some shady stuff. Somebody comes in here and it's like, oh, how many rooms, this and that. It's like, okay, you're not making this an Airbnb. I mean, you could try. Maybe you can get when people come to visit. Yeah, I can see that. Now I think about it. Yeah, people come to visit their family members in prison, stuff like that. Usually they have to stay at a hotel or something. And maybe you could do it that way. But yeah, I don't see anyone just voluntarily like, oh, I can't wait to move to Kingstown. That's going to be awesome. Rent is cheap, which I'm sure it is for a reason.
That sounds like a horrible move. But we get Raph. He's in the prison yard.
Yeah.
He goes over towards I guess are they Colombian? Are the Colombians?
Yeah, Colombians. Later
Roberto.
on, some people. Yeah, it's Roberto. The Colombians. They had made some deal. This was in the last season during the fighting and all the stuff that was going on in the prison.
They both speak in Spanish, and they're kind of trying to figure out what's going on. Roberto seems like he has a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder, and Raph is not really too happy about that. He feels like they have some leverage that they don't know about. So, things seem like they might hit a boiling point. Roberto says that he owes him some, so they got to figure that out. And Raph is acting cool about it, but you could tell as he's walking away that he's a little bit like, all right, what's going on?
Yeah, because he wasn't expecting that. He wasn't expecting that because they were dealing with all the issues with the Aryans and that whole thing. It's like, all right, let's just figure this out. Let's work together. But now that's all off, and it's like some new deals need to be made, and he's not ready for that. And even Roberto says, like, "Oh, talk to Bunny." It's like, "Well, no, I'm in here, so we're talking to me." That's it. But yeah, he's got his concerns.
So then, Mikey leaves with the two detectives, Ian and what's the other guy that's with him too? The three of them,
Stevie.
Yeah,
Stevie.
They enter into one of the Aryan guys' houses. They walk in, they're making crack and like they're cooking crack and this whole thing, and then he's questioning him about like did you? And the guy already knows when they walk in. He's like, it wasn't us, man. Like we didn't take those Russian guys out. It wasn't us. And then he's like, okay, well I need you to keep an eye out. And then one of his guys sitting on a couch stands up. He's like, who you think you are giving orders? And before Mikey could say a word, he just headbutts him. The guy falls with like a broken nose, and he just keeps the conversation going.
I just wanted, that's fine. It's all Mikey's character. We've seen it time and time again, but it would have been cool. Just a red mark or something on the forehead. You had somebody in the nose. You're still going to get a bruise. I don't know. Just to make it seem like he does not been phased by it. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah. Then when they walk out, the guy turns to the one that got headbutted. And he's like, "Are you kidding me? Like what's wrong with you?" Like,
yeah, I mean,
just to show who he is, Mikey is. But I think
there was so much. Which one? What
we got an audio of Ian talking with Stevie once they exit the. Was
it there or was it Robert? Oh no, it was Stevie. It was Stevie. Wait. So we'll do.
Bus and then what? We'll sleep like a fucking baby. Fuck Robert. Kyle's not doing this for Robert. Kyle flips on Robert. Robert's facing countless fucking murder charges. That fucker will not go down quietly. Everything he knows about you, me, Mitch when he was alive, Mike. Kyle's not doing this for Robert, Stevie. He's doing it for us.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
That's deep. Which, again, with a small community like this, you would think that it's, I don't want to say corruption, but the closeness that everyone's so intertwined that this should have not even gotten this far with Kyle. You know what I mean? It's like, wait, who got shot? Okay. Who did it? Kyle. Who's pressing charges? No one. All right, let's walk away. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me, and this is it for anybody else from New York that's listening. Remember this? It was what was it? It was in on Staten Island. It was a firehouse, and two firemen had a brawl. Remember? And one dude was just mangled. His face was mangled, and they were like, "Oh, this is it. We're gonna press charges. All this stuff's gonna happen." And no one pressed charges. And then there was no witnesses. Everybody that was there was like, "No, I didn't see anything. I didn't see it." Remember that? They left it alone. And I don't know. I think some people did get suspended. But they really wanted to put blame on it, and No, but even the guy that got beat up, I'm pretty sure he didn't even press charges because
no, he didn't.
it was a fight. It was just a fight. It happened. Somebody got really mingled up though, and they just wanted to keep it in house type of deal, even though it made it out.
Which is the frustration of this entire episode with exactly what's going on with this.
Yeah.
They probably could have just kept this under wraps, but I mean, everyone saw him shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe a little write up or something. If he's alive and fine, his life is not deterred by this in any ways. Like I would just, hopefully, because they're all in cahoots with this. But anyways, we get Carney showing Cindy around. He's basically explaining the prison to her. He's saying like
Cindy's a new hire in the prison. If people weren't sure about who that was.
Yeah, she's new. The lowest of the low. There's murderers, rapists, everybody. Don't get too close. Don't stay behind that line. Get past that line. They're gonna snatch you at the bars. Don't engage. Just keep moving.
You hear a guy sound like he was getting assaulted in the background, right? You hear somebody screaming.
Yeah. And people are like, "Yo, come over here, baby!" Like, flirting with her and stuff. And then he goes, "The only one we got to worry about right now, or like, really keep an eye on, is the new guy. He's a cop, and we want to protect him, and we're gonna guard him with our lives."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she was like, "Well, why is he here?" Like, well, he's a stand-up guy. That's why. And then I wanted him to say, "Because of damn Robert." I want people to wear that on a shirt. It's like, "Damn you, Robert." But
then Ian is talking to somebody. Is it Stevie? I know he's talking to somebody, but he's saying that Iris's body was found. Oh, somebody came up to him and told him that.
Yeah, it was somebody at the
precinct.
At the precinct came up and told him, and he's like, "Oh man,
I just dropped her off."
Well, don't tell Mike. Oh no, that's a secret. You can't just say that out loud, screaming it, because it's so many ears. Somebody's gonna find out, and Mike's gonna find out. He is definitely gonna find out because at some point I figured he was gonna try to reach out. I'm pretty sure she still had her phone, and he would call just to check in. I could see Mike doing that. So, and what she doesn't pick up, he's going to want to know if she's okay. That's the whole thing. But yeah, it's kind of funny when he says scream. He's like, "Oh, first don't tell Mike. He's dealing with a lot already. Don't tell him that we can't even call her a side piece. Just like this girl that was lingering for 3 seasons with him has OD'd on a bus."
But then they're like, "Ian, you got to go outside. Evelyn wants to speak with you." And he's like, "Oh man." So he like goes outside and he's like, "What is it?" And she's basically coming at him like, "You shouldn't do this. Like, don't let Kyle fall for this. Like, give me some information on Robert." And he's just like, "I'm not doing anything." Like, she goes, "You give me information on him, I'll forget about Morrissey." And he's like, "I can't help you." And she's like, "Look, I've compiled CCTV footage, everything. I got a lot of evidence and stuff." And he's just like, "I don't know. You're going to have to lawyer up." And he just like walks off.
It's nuts. It is nuts because it really does come back to her because she's the DA. Why can't she just make this disappear? I don't understand.
She's using it as leverage.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. It's like we're getting to the 11th hour here. Let's put a brakes on all of this. This is okay. This isn't good. We'll figure something else out.
It's just the funny thing is like she knows it's like Batman, Dark Knight, like Harvey Dent. Like he knows about the corruption. You just need someone to say it. You need someone. You need to draw it all together. She knows, but she's like trying to mix and manage because she has a lot of play in the game. Obviously, being connected with Mikey, his brother. So she's kind of involved in it just as much as them in some weird way.
In a way, but it's tricky because she was also out to get Ian all of last season. She was trying to pin him on all kinds of stuff. He had the serial killer that he was sicking on this other dude to kill him, and then he killed the serial killer.
She has all this information.
She could, but she should also know that just like Kyle had said, House of Cards. You take Robert down, bangs into Ian, bangs into Stevie, bangs into every Joe Schmo that works there, bangs into all the other guards at the prison. I mean, the whole town goes down. It's one of those. Everybody's in on it. And she has to know this. That if this is why everyone's going to stay tight-lipped with all of this. So that's why I don't know. I don't get the reason for the character to just keep pushing, like, come on, give me Robert. Well, what do you want Robert for? You want Robert so he can squeal and spill all this other stuff. So no, it's not just about Robert. Okay, so let's just stop that. Lawyer up, lady.
Well, then Ian, then in that same token, just walks away from her and sees a truck across the street. So he walks over to the truck, he gets in, and it's Robert driving. And he's like, what are you doing? You're just following the DA around. Like, you need to bide your time. And they're having this whole conversation. He's like, they're talking about Kyle possibly speaking up, and they're looking at all angles at this whole thing. And then, he's like, yo, you and me have our heads on the chopping block right now. Like, we got to figure something out. So I think they're maybe hinting at doing something to the DA.
Well, that was hinted in the last one too. In last season, Ian was thinking about that, and it was like, oh well, that's Mike, and the same thing here. He's like, well, if Mike isn't dealing with it, it's something we may have to deal with. So she's always been on the edge when it comes to this because of how far she's pushing for Ian and to find the corruption within the PD and all that stuff. So that brings two people that could possibly disappear this season, right? So definitely I could see the DA, and then what's going to happen with Kyle. But yeah.
The next scene, Mike is meeting with Commissioner Hobbs.
Well, no, the warden.
Oh, I'm sorry, warden. Oh, my bad. I wrote
It's
wrong
all right.
in my notes. Yes,
It's all right.
Warden Hobbs. Sorry, guys. Warden Hobbs, and basically Mikey. I guess the next image, Mikey is basically kind of like trying to show his position without overly saying it in a weird way. So he's basically like, look, well, he had this meeting basically around the whole idea of like, hey, my brother's coming in tomorrow. I want to figure out where he's gonna be, and she's like, he'll be fine. And he's like, well, can we have this guy watch him? Can we have Carney watch him? She's like, nope, he's already on a different yard. Like, don't worry. And she's like, we'll keep him alive. And he goes, well,
he wants more than that. He doesn't just want him alive.
Keep him alive. He also says, like, he goes, you take care of me, I'll take care of you. And she's like, I don't anticipate needing any assistance from you. Like, I'm not Kareem. She goes, this is my castle, and I lower the drawbridge.
Yeah, but here's the thing that she doesn't know is that Kareem used to say the same thing. Said the same thing. I don't need your help. I got this. And then he still needed his help because there's a lot that happens outside of the prison that was coming in, the people coming in, the conflicts. He didn't know who had beef with who, what was happening, how drugs and who knew all of this? Who had the answers? Well, Mike did. And that's all he's saying. She respects him to a point because she referred to him as the mayor of Kingstown. Remember? She said that.
Yeah,
he's not officially the mayor. Come on now.
She knows of his reputation.
She knows. And the fact that she's even willing to have a sit-down conversation, she doesn't have to do that either. But she's doing it. So why can't she just yes him? Like, yep, don't worry. I got this.
She's trying to present herself as stronger than him.
Yeah, well, she is. She's the warden of the prison, but he is the king of the streets. He knows what's going on. And he said, you will need help. And she was like, oh, well, if I need it, then I'll reach out.
I'll keep him alive. And he's like, I'm going to need more than just keeping him alive. He goes, look, I have say in these walls. And if anything happens to my brother, there will be consequences.
Yeah.
You want a piece of the castle, you protect him. And then he leaves. And the next...
I'm surprised she didn't stand up. Are you threatening me, officer?
Yeah, I know. I thought she was going to say that.
Get him.
Yeah, and not the next image, but the one after this is them talking about it. But the next image, as he leaves, because he's like done with the conversation, and as he walks out, the next one after this, she's kind of just stunned, just like staring there. It's like, huh. Obviously, she's gonna use his help. So
the best was when she said, "I know you looked me up, and you probably know." It's like the dude doesn't even have a computer. I mean, he doesn't do any of that.
I don't know who you are.
Exactly. I don't know who you are. You could be someone that I met down the street or something. It doesn't matter. I don't know. He just has his phone and he drinks coffee and he likes to talk in his little Bluetooth earpiece all the time while driving, hand-free driving, safety first. That's it. So she's going to have a hard time.
Mikey's driving in the car and then he sees someone in the middle of the road. He pulls over, takes out his gun. He walks towards it. He finds an unresponsive, like younger female on the ground. She seems like drugged out. She's like, another beautiful damn day. He calls it in. It's just another day in the neighborhood, right? And then he gets to the office. He's talking to Rebecca, who's I guess his receptionist, right?
Yeah, she's a receptionist. She works as she does everything. Office manager, if you want to put it that way, because she does it all.
They're talking kind of about Kyle and the whole thing, and then he walks into his office, and then Evelyn shows up. And Rebecca's like, no, you're not speaking with him. She's like, I need to speak with him. Just let me in. She's like, no, you're not. So she gets by her. She walks in. Mike's pissed. Mikey's pissed. And he's like, you have the power to make it go away. You have it. She's like, I've done all I can, Mike. Like, his sentence is super light.
Just lying.
He's like, you want to know what I did today? I spent the whole day trying to make sure that my brother doesn't get murdered. And then she's like, please, just talk to Kyle. Just beg him to come forward and speak and do something.
If there's any issues I have with this episode, it's just this, because she knows how deep Mike is involved in all of this. He's ingrained in all of this. She knows. So she has to know that by giving up Robert, it's just going to cause a lot of problems for everybody, including Mike. And if he feels like it could probably implicate her, because
and I think that's what she's trying to stunt right now before it gets worse.
He could easily say, well, we've been dating. She knew all this stuff. No, I didn't. That's a lie. She knew everything. We did the pillow talk all the time. I told her about all the craziness. Milo, the drugs, the Russians, the prostitutes. She knew it all. That's why I understand the show has to push in that other direction. You have to have the law, she is the hand of the law in this case. But they should have brought in someone else who has an outside perspective, who's not connected to anybody in the town, because then it makes it a little more believable. She's so ingrained with it. She's so tied in. She's sort of semi-dating Mike. So, hell, I don't even remember if Rebecca knows. If Rebecca knows that they even have that little fling thing going on, put in the comments if you remember if she even does know. But I'm pretty sure she doesn't. She knows that they know each other, but I don't think she thinks that they're messing around like they are.
Well, Mikey looks at her and he goes, you know what you did is wrong. The only good man in this town. He's the only good one, and you know it. And she's like, I gave him a light sentence. And he goes in like any other prisoner, Mike, just like you did. And he goes, Evelyn, you're dead to me. Effing. Yep.
Evelyn, you're dead to me. Fucking dead. Get out.
I feel like I've said this to a bunch of people in my life. I'm sure you have. No, you haven't. I know I have. I've said that to a few people.
Well, I mean, maybe like exes or something.
Yeah, exes, friends, next door neighbors, people on the bus, anyone that pisses me off.
I'm a very forgiving friend.
That's not me. Cold as ice. You could we talked about this. There's something I can let something go, and that's it. There's so many people that were like, all right, we'll talk tomorrow. Now you're dead to me, it's done. And that's it. And it's like 15 years later. And I still no looking back. No looking back. I hope Mike sticks to this, because I don't want in the next episode she shows up. It's like, all right, I'll figure something out. All right, you're undead to me, so I'm coming over tonight. No.
Mikey drives over to get Kyle, and his wife is already crying about the whole thing. And then we get Bunny. He's on the phone with Raph, and Raph is telling him, I think it's the next image. Raph is telling him, like, hey, there might be a fight with the Bogata. Like, Roberto's taking orders, or I don't know if he's taking orders or giving them, but he's got swagger now all of a sudden. And then Bunny flips it a little bit. He goes, look, I went to see your family the other day. And he's telling him about his family, he's telling him what's going on and stuff. And he's like, look, it's what I owe you for doing what you're doing for me. When you come out, you'll have a whole new world.
I don't remember. Again, people in the comments, if you remember, how long is he in there for? I know there was that whole thing where he got out, got to see his family, then he went back in. But he's definitely doing a solid for Bunny. But then again, Bunny's taking care of his family. So they're helping each other out in this situation. Even though I think he's getting the worst of the deal, because who wants to be locked up, right?
So then Kyle's at home. He's kissing his wife. He's kissing the baby. They leave. I think we got some images of them getting on the car.
It's so sad. So sad.
And we're thinking like going like straight to the
go to the prison. That's it, because it's got to bring him in.
He takes him instead. He takes him to a bar and they drink.
Yeah,
and
the cop bar. Yeah.
And then Carney's there, and Carney and Mikey walk out, and he's like, "Look, like there's a newbie there. I've already prepped her, told her that Kyle's precious cargo, like." And Mike is like, look, like I'm not worried about him in his cell. I'm worried about walking across that battlefield.
Well,
be good. He's like, no, it's a long walk, Carney.
Yeah, it's not even so much of that. It's like when he's in the mess, getting his meal, or in the bathrooms, don't drop the soap and all that other stuff.
Every situation is kind of.
I'm trying to think back when watching all the other prior seasons of this. I don't know if there was another wing of the prison or a section of the prison that wasn't connected to Gen Pop. I think they're all just connected. So it wasn't more like, oh, well, this is where they put some of the hardened ones and or not the hardened ones, but like we said before, the white collar ones, and they stick over here. They don't interact with everybody else. Because if that's the case, then why just put him in that situation? Put him in one of those blocks, and we never have to worry about this. He's never going to interact with me. He's not going to have the same yard time with everyone else. Because that's the first day he goes out there just for yard time. It's all hell what's going to break loose. They can't do that. He's going to have a special time to go out. They're going to have to do something. They haven't even talked about that yet.
But Mikey walks into the bar. The music is tense. It's foreshadowing everything. Kyle's taking a shot, kind of just living.
Oh, taking a lot of shots.
Taking some shots. They're in the car. Kyle's a bit drunk, and he goes, I can't help but feeling I deserve this. Not for Robert, but for Mom. And then Mikey's like, yeah, Kyle, can you lower that window and sober up? He gives him something to take. And he goes, look, the only time you're going to be safe is when you're in a cell. Killing a cop is a prison. It leads to prison royalty, okay? And a con looks at you wrong, don't look at them in the eye, but don't look away. So he's just kind of guiding him through this. They pull up to the sheriff's office.
There was Danny Trejo did there's a movie out there. I think it's on Netflix or one of the shows. You could look it up. It's like How to Survive Prison. And it's Danny Trejo and a bunch of other people just talking about the do's and don'ts of prison life. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but it that triggered with this because some of that was there. It was like, hey, make eye contact, don't look away. Somebody talks to you, don't ignore them, acknowledge them, talk to them, whether good or bad. You can't hide from your enemies here. It's not one of those situations. You have to confront everything, what good or the bad. You have to do it because everyone's watching, and then they're reading you to see how you're going to react. And then that is going to show your placement in the hierarchy there in the prison. Are you going to be grabbing somebody's pocket, and following around, or are you going to be able to hold your own and people are just going to respect you and maybe get mixed into a crew? Because that's one of the things that Mike was hoping that with the Bunny situation, we get it. They're not going to really have him part of the crew because the whole thing, the whole copying, but they'll look out for him. And then hopefully with Carney and with the other guards there, they'll also look out for him because as we heard from some of the other people there, everyone's on board with this, right? Even the other guards, they all are looking at. There's no ill will toward Kyle, so it's not one of those like, oh, there's this one dude who hates his guts, and we have to worry about Jimbo over there doing something with the Aryans. No, it seems like everybody's okay. So if they're all on board, hopefully he has a smooth experience for the 6 months.
So then we get Bunny in the car. He has like a little entourage. He's in this SUV. There's another SUV with him too, black SUV they're driving. And then a car, just like beat up looking car, small little sedan pulls up, and guys are like AKs are shooting at them. The cars are thankfully, I guess, bulletproof. So another car rams the other car off the road just a little bit, and then Bunny gets away. And then Ian and Stevie are notified immediately. So they call, of course, Mikey. And Mikey's like, oh, yeah, all right, I'm coming. It's like, no, this is not an invitation. Mikey pulls around. And
the funny thing is he's like, it's a bunch of guys who went for the king. So he's even acknowledging him. It's like everybody pays their respects to their roles. They all pay their respects to their roles. But why even
Ian
call and tell
like,
him?
Oh, there's 4
Yeah.
Ian's like, oh, there's 4 Mexicans driving a beat up car and it's not a piñata. And And they head over there. All this while simultaneously Kyle gets off the prison bus. He's walking in. They're making them strip down. He sees this old man getting stripped down, and they tell him to bend over and cough, and the whole thing. Very degrading.
And then a file fell out of him. Ping, 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 ping. And they're like, oh, what else you got up there? And then he licked his thumb and started picking. No, we've never seen that.
Hey,
But listen, I'm just saying, how many times have we seen this scene in a show, right? Shows, movies, we already know. In real life, this is a real thing that happens. We've never seen an outcome of this other than the obvious.
If you want to see something like this, then you got to watch Gen V season 2.
Oh,
that has a lot of stuff come out.
Oh, he's got humans crawling out. That is some next level ish right there. But no, I'm just saying, it's like it would be. You don't have to show it. I don't have to get graphic. I don't have to show it. But like, hey, hold on, what's this? It could be drugs. It's like, hold on, somebody got to go. What do you do? Somebody has to stick their finger in there, right? Or do they tell the guy to stick it and pull it out? Because that's what they're checking for. See if they're smuggling any contraband.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm just saying, I want to see something like that. I want to see somebody throw a curveball. You don't have to visually see it, but just that, oh wow, he's carrying contraband and we got one. How about that? Just acknowledge it. Like, wait, there's something in there. Take him to the back room. Take him back room.
Mikey gets over to the whole situation. Ian's shooting. They're shooting. They kill 2 of the guys. One of the guys about to shoot Ian. Mikey gets out of the car and shoots that guy, and then gets back in the car like nothing. Yeah. And then they pull up one of the guys, they cuff him, and he's just like straight face, just kind of like weirdly chilling. Then Kyle is in the jail. He's walking through. I think we have a picture of him with his stuff. He's walking through, and then one of the, I think it's the previous image from this one.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Or no. Keep going.
Oh, did we didn't have it?
Oh, we went too far. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we had it.
This one.
Oh, there we go.
He's walking. This guard is walking with him. And he has his stuff, his pillows, everything. You're walking, and you see this guy, like, I guess he looks like he's doing maintenance or cleaning, but the guard knows. He's like, hey, wait, are you supposed to be over here? The guy takes a cup, splashes it into the guard's face, and he runs over, and he has like a metal pipe and a sock, and starts beating Kyle up. And Kyle's defenseless because he's cuffed. He's on the ground. He's the new girl is nearby too, seeing this whole thing in shock.
I'm telling you, I think she's in on it. I think Cindy's in on it.
You think so?
I think so. And I'll bring it up. Well, I'll bring it up when we get to the last part of it. Something that we kept rewinding, trying to find out. But yeah, he took a whooping.
Then it cuts to Cindy coming home. She takes off her clothes.
Cops are coming. Turn off the light.
She takes off her work clothes. She puts them in the wash. Her son is in the kitchen, and as she's putting stuff in the wash, we see a tattoo on her arm. I don't know if that's of any significance. We tried to pause it and
yeah, that was the issue. Because we're trying to figure out with the tattoo on the arm. It's like, oh well, this is it. We kept trying to pause it in the right spot. It's still a blurry image. We couldn't really see what it is, but I have a feeling that she is a plant. That maybe she's there because she has 3 kids. She has 2 daughters and a son. That's there. I think the son is the older one, right? It looks like she's a single mom, and I have a feeling that it's going to be some kind of connection with the prison. There is some kind of connection to the prison. The fact that they even showed us this. Why? Yeah. Why show us this? Everything is done for a reason, especially this show. There are no mistakes. There's no fluff in these shows. So when they show us her undressing and doing all that, they're like, all right, we're not trying to get creepy with this. We're showing you something. Did you catch it? Maybe not 100%, but you saw something. And I have a feeling it's going to come back later on. When it came to the whole Kyle thing and all that, I'm sure she knew he was going to be there because of Carney. Remember, he said, keep an eye out on this one. Said exactly what time, because we know what time he was coming in because we're privy to that info. We heard Mikey and all of them. How does she know? How does it? Maybe do all the guards know? Some people could argue that. Maybe they all know, but maybe not. I don't think so. I think that she set it up. Maybe she helped that person get into that area because that person obviously was not supposed to be there, right? Yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know if she has anything to do with that situation there, but I definitely think she's there for something. As far as like, what you brought up with the single parent doing this whole thing, maybe there's some incentive there from some gang relation or something that she's a part of. Maybe she's part of the Russian gang in some way or trying to find out more information. But again, she also has to have some kind of background in it. I mean, or she just like this is her first job in this. I don't know. But
No.
Mikey's at the bar. I don't know if was he with Ian or was he with Carney? I know he's sitting at the bar. I think it's Ian.
It was Ian because Carney calls him.
Yes. Okay. So he's sitting with Ian, and they're like, oh, Colombians are attacking Kingston. And then Mikey's like, well, at least we know who killed those Russians earlier. So they're completely off the trail of that. And then it cuts to Kyle in his cell. He's shaking. He's bruised up. He's all bloody. There's an old man in the cell adjacent to him. And he's like, you want to live? Do not go to sick bay. You heal up right here. He goes, everyone here knows you're a cop.
I feel like I should know. I'm blanking on him, but I have a feeling I'm supposed to know this guy. And I kept saying, I was like, I know this is not. Oh man, it's Merle. I don't know. Hey, if you remember, put in a comment. I'll have to look this up afterwards. But it definitely, I feel like we're supposed to know who this guy is.
He goes, any point between A and Z is a kill zone. And then they call Mikey. Carney calls Mikey, and he's like, "Look, he's okay. He's not injured." And he's like, "What happened?" He's like,
"No, he's alive." He said he knows.
I'm sorry, he's
he's
alive. He's alive, but this guy attacked him with a bar, a pipe in a sock, and this whole thing. And then Mikey's upset. He's like, "God damn it!" He slams his fist on a car, and that's where the episode ends.
Well, he was like, "Where is he now?" He didn't want to go to sickbay. He said just wanted to go straight to his cell. So he's not getting any treatment. That's the other thing here. It's like he took the beating and it was like, oh, all right, well, then that's it. Just go in here. And I think he knows because then they can try to get to him there.
Yeah.
This was fantastic. This was fantastic. I mean, not so much of the whooping. I feel bad for that, but this is fantastic for setting up the rest of the season and just the situation with Kyle. This is exactly what we expected would happen with Kyle going to jail and prison, the whole thing. We knew that he would go to the one that's there. They're not going to send him out of town, obviously, but that there was going to be a target on his back. And they wasted no time letting us know that that's happening. With him taking this whooping right here. Plus, now we have all the other stuff going on with the Colombians, and we have the Frank Moses situation. Who is he? What's going on? Why is he coming to town? There's a lot. There's a lot going on, and they just pushed it all in the first episode, and that's what you want, right?
I'm excited. It was a very good episode. It brought up a lot and left a lot of questions in a really good way. So.
Yeah, it was definitely good. I enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody at home, you're 4 seasons in. You definitely have to be enjoying this. I'm sure you're all sad for Iris. I'm still sad for Iris. There is no coming back unless this is The Walking Dead. It's not happening. But I have a feeling that her name isn't gone from the storybooks here because I have a feeling that Mike is going to want to know if she's okay. And either someone's going to slip up and tell him, or he is going to do some investigating and find out. Maybe he's going to call some contacts, whatever, find out on the bus. Oh, they found her body dead. Yeah, that's it. And it's going to hurt. And maybe this could ruin their relationship when he finds out that Ian did know and didn't tell him. But very complicated, interesting situation, but a lot happening. I love this. It was a pretty long episode. There was 52 minutes of this episode. So pretty long for these shows. A lot of these shows like to skimp on it, like
38
40 minutes, 38. Yeah. This, nope. They went all board with this one. All right, everybody. Thanks. If you made it this far, please like, subscribe, stick around. Like I said, we're covering the entire season of Mayor of Kingstown season 4, as well as in 2 weeks, you'll have Landman, another Taylor Sheridan show. So those are the 2 that's going to be popping off on this one here. And I think that's it. Thanks again for everything. And we will be back next week, everybody. Peace.
Peace out.